Keys to my life. I'm a single guy in my early 30s, living alone in a rented house in Maplewood, a quiet little town just outside Portland. The kind of place where neighbors wave when they mow the lawn, and the biggest excitement on a weekend is a garage sale or the farmer's market. My place isn't much, just a modest 2-bedroom on a calm street. But after a year of living there, I'd settled into a rhythm. I had my routines: morning coffee by the window, evening jogs around the block, late night movies on the couch. It wasn't perfect, but it felt like mine. For once in my life, I felt grounded. That's why the night everything changed still lingers in my head like a bad dream. It was a Thursday just before 11 p.m. I'd brushed my teeth, turned off the lights, and was halfway to bed when the sound hit me. Bang, bang, bang. Not a knock, not even pounding. It was the kind of violent, desperate slamming you'd expect from someone trying to force their way in. The door rattled against the frame. My heart jumped. The porch light on my rental had always been useless. Placed too high, too dim. When I peeked through the blinds, all I saw was the vague outline of a man. Now, I'm not easily scared. I work out, I'm a big guy, and Maplewood isn't exactly a crime hotspot. So, my first thought wasn't fear, it was irritation. Some drunk, wrong address. I unlocked the main door, but kept the screen door shut and latched. When I pulled it open, the porch light caught him just enough. He looked wrong. Mid-30s maybe, jittery, unshaven, with wild eyes that darted around like a trapped animal. His clothes were crumpled, as if he'd been wearing them for days. His chest rose and fell too fast, and his jaw clenched like he was chewing on rage. And then he spoke. "This is my house. You need to get out right now, or I'll call the cops." At first, I almost laughed. I told him calmly that he had the wrong place. I'd lived there a year. My name was on the lease, but my words didn't calm him. Instead, his agitation sharpened. He jabbed a finger toward me like I was the intruder, his voice rising. And then he said things that froze me in place. "The bedroom door bangs into the toilet if you don't push it open slow, right?" I blinked. He was right. It was a stupid little quirk I'd learned on day one. The back door, you gotta lift it when you turn the knob, or it jams. Another detail, dead on. And the kitchen drawer. Second one from the top. Sticks halfway. My stomach dropped. He wasn't guessing. He knew. I stammered something. Asked how the hell he knew all that. But before I could even process, he yanked out a folder from under his arm and shoved it against the screen. A lease agreement, with his name on it. My address printed clear at the top. He fumbled with a stack of envelopes next. Mail addressed to him with my house number. I felt my skin crawl, but what came next was worse. He pulled out his phone, flicked through, and held it up for me. Photo after photo. Him, inside my house, sitting on my couch, cooking in my kitchen, lying down in what was now my bedroom. Some of the pictures had other people in them, smiling, eating, celebrating. Faces I didn't recognize. And then he swiped to one that nearly made me fall backward. The 4th of July. Just a few months ago, he was at my kitchen table, fireworks box in the background. A woman I'd never seen was holding the camera. But here's the thing. I'd spent the 4th of July alone, watching fireworks from my backyard with a beer in my hand. I knew that night. I remembered it. So how the hell was this picture possible? Something in me snapped. I told him flat out I was calling the police. My voice was steadier than I felt. And just like that, his whole demeanor shifted. He went quiet. His eyes softened, almost like relief. "All right," he said calmly, like nothing had happened. I'll wait outside. Then he turned, walked down the porch steps, and disappeared into the night. By the time the cops arrived, he was gone. I told them everything, but they didn't bite. Probably some guy off his meds, they said, or a scam artist. Talk to your landlord. So I did. My landlord swore he'd never rented to anyone by that name. The last tenants confirmed the same. No man, no parties, nothing. For the next 2 weeks, I jumped at every sound. I kept the lights on at night. I bought a baseball bat I kept next to the bed. But then I started to convince myself maybe the cops were right. Maybe it was just some unstable stranger. Until the second incident. I came home late one night from work, stepped inside, and froze. The house was torn apart. Not robbed, ransacked. Drawers yanked out, closets emptied, cushions slashed open. My stuff was everywhere, but nothing was missing. Not my laptop, not my watch, not even the spare cash I kept tucked in a book. It wasn't theft. Someone had been looking for something, and there were no signs of forced entry, which meant whoever it was had a key. The police finally took me seriously after that. The landlord replaced every lock and had a security system installed. But the theories didn't add up. If he was some delusional man who thought the house was his, how did he have photos inside it? Real, recent photos. How did he know all those details? And if he wasn't a past tenant, if nobody had heard of him, then who the hell was he? Weeks have passed since then, and nothing's happened. The house looks the same, smells the same, feels the same, but it doesn't feel like mine anymore. Every time I set my keys down, I wonder, do they still unlock something for him too? And at night, when I hear a floorboard creak or the faint sound of a door settling, I can't shake the thought. Maybe he never left. Maybe he's still out there, waiting. For me to forget. For me to let my guard down. Because somehow, I don't think he ever gave up his keys. More nightmares are waiting. Hit subscribe so you don't miss them.